I'll jump on YouTube for a minute and see if anybody finds me from getting kicked off of the fucking talk again. Yeah, I don't know. Got some haters after us lately. This is a little bit discouraging. Um, so yeah, I got my ass kicked off of TikTok just now for I don't know, um, laughing back. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, hateful behavior. I'm looking at my my phone here too, answering my people who are like, "Where did you go? Where did you go?" I picked up a troll on TikTok and got my ass um kicked off for hateful behavior. So I think I got a guy who's picking up. Thanks for joining, Dre. Um, I don't know, it's always jarring. It's like you're going along and then it's like bang! It's just got this fucking sign in front of you. So your access has been suspended. Your stream is over. What the fuck did I even say? Like I would get it if I was like really um, being a jerk to somebody or offensive. It's like people come on and bait you a little bit, and then you're the one who gets kicked off. So yeah, I was crying about Vicky Hartzler, right? Literally 10 minutes, right? He was. I'm looking. I was like barely. It was 43. It was like 13 minutes. A new record maybe for getting whacked, but it did seem like there was some chicken shit wimps on there. Let me tell Joy I'm on with you. Um, I got to get in the rhythm of just going on YouTube and seeing. I don't know what you have to do to get kicked off of the tube because I haven't done it that much yet, and it's just not in a rhythm like I am with the talk where I might have 20 or 40 people inputting. So if you're gonna hang out, I appreciate it. And you feel free to bring up a topic or give me some direction or ask questions too, man. Especially if it's just going to be the two of us. There she is. What's up? What can we do? Can we march on TikTok headquarters somehow, you guys? Um, is is Dre your new friend that you were telling me about, Joey? Or do we want to talk about that? Or I'm not trying to get too personal, but I noticed you've been taking you some time to get back to the game sometimes, Chris. I know you're spending your time chatting, not with me. Yeah, let's um let's march to the internet. What was that movie? Where the internet was an actual place. The whole Christian house might have COVID. They won't test. What's up with you guys with that? Do have a spike, or all of a sudden everybody I know has got the bid. Um, but I did spend the week putting up secular um, posters as I could. We got that. Um, I don't know if you guys saw it. The last time we had it's a cutout of like the founders over the Bill of Rights in the manger, like a Constitution, like baby Jesus, but it's the Bill of Rights in the manger. And the founding fathers are like the Statue of Liberty is the mother. She's the Mother Mary. And the founders like I don't know if they they all took care of it Wolfpack style, and whoever the puppies look like, I guess that's the one that worked. But it's a pretty good parody. It's subtle enough, and we took that and put it downtown and took some pictures of it yesterday. Um, um, I finally look at the numbers here. Where the COVID numbers. Yeah, it's like I never get the flu, so I don't worry about the flu. That I never have. Now that I'm older and having been through cancer, it's like maybe I do, but I don't get that stuff. I don't. I never have my whole life. So I am fully vaccinated for COVID and I've been boosted and everything. Because that seems nastier. But I can't remember the last time I had a fever. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. Threw up because I drank a whole pot of tea with no food, that was the first time I threw up in I don't know how long. It's fun talk though. Yay. In AA, American Atheists actually got I got an email. They sponsored some kind of committee, some kind of secular meeting in Washington, and got a bunch of Congress people to. Did I become an atheist? I've always been an atheist. Thanks, guys. Who's here? Blake Edward Reynolds. I don't believe that there is any way that a supernatural can exist. Would you agree that if the supernatural could be tested, it would just be natural? Yes, of course, absolutely. There's, I mean, that's always the way, right? That's why there's no miracles. It's the same kind of logic. If things can only happen because it can happen, and because something caused them to happen. And so once something happens, it happens because it could happen, and so it doesn't fit the definition of a miracle anymore, which is something that happened. No, my parents tried really hard. I failed them. Thank you, well-regulated militia. Yeah, no, my parents tried to indoctrinate me like most indoctrinated people do, to their little indoctrinees, and I just ended up with more brain cells than that. And I got lucky. They're not haters. They love me. My mom still prays. My dad's kind of an agnostic, I'm sure. He just went along with the hardcore program because my mom was fairly born again. But even so, by today's evangelical standards, I had a mainline Protestant upbringing where reasonable discussion was the mode in the He's a well-regulated militia. You can let him be unregulated if you want. Let's see, what was that? I just had a glitch. Yeah, he's a sweetie, right? What if it was well-regulated? Isn't that the fear? It's like we're nobody in America is that afraid of guns because we just brought up with them. But it's all this untrained shit. I was in Kenosha, and when Ding Dong, when Chubby Boy, what was his fucking name? Kyle. When Kyle Shittenhouse came from another state to just like stick himself into a war zone as a 17-year-old, because what, he played Call of Duty, It's like, okay, yeah, completely untrained personnel, undertrained police is one thing. This well-regulated militia guy, you just know that, like, already by his comments, right? He would be like a loose cannon in any well-regulated militia. It's like, where's the regulation? Where's the training? Where's the supervision? Where's the discipline? Where's like, no, we're ready. You get your shit. Let's storm something, boys. Let's go. And put down your gun and pray to Jesus, because Jesus got street cred everywhere. But yes, Blake, thank you. I would absolutely agree. Something tells me, well-regulated militia's gone. But yeah, where is that sucker? I think I closed that email. Let me see here if I can find what that actually was about. It's pretty cool. There it is. Oh, that's not it. I wonder if I deleted it. Anyway, people are working on it. They're trying to get us a fucking it's weird now. I submitted an appeal, and I said, like, right away it asks you if you do agree with it. Like, I think they're trying to get more info and do something about their process, whether it's good or bad, who knows. But like, it changes all the time, and this time it right away popped up. Do you agree with this? And then it gives you some options, like, I don't understand, which is what I hit. I don't understand. There's, I don't agree. TikTok should allow for videos like mine. That was one of the options. I thought, now that's a step in the right direction, right? If I like, TikTok should allow videos like mine instead of, how do you, I didn't push that one because in the end, it's not really, it does allow video, lives like mine. It's, getting kicked off is not something that happens every week. So I had to push. I don't know why I get kicked off, because I think that's more important for them to like tell you, here it is. Somebody complained that you said this, and here's the clip. How fucking hard would that be? You know what I mean? Yeah, I really do think they're trying to gather more feedback. I don't have any faith that they'll do the right thing with that. But that was separate than the appeal. So I like finished that, and then it still said appeal at the top, and I hit that and went to the different um, space to normally like you normally answer when that shit happens. I got so many windows open here. Jesus, let me get rid of some of this. Um, yeah, so we've been ramping up the attack at least in that regard around here. So we're trying to um, get to the government, to the local governments, and find out where they're praying in front of this council, and find out where they're hanging a Christian display. In Milwaukee, we got a guy. He takes the plaque himself, and it's just like a little floor, like you put like a wet floor sign in the building when you walk in. It's one of those TP or A-frame warning signs on the floor, and so that's it. It's like maybe 2 feet tall, 2.5 feet tall, knee high, right? And it says basically what one of these says. Just at this time of the solstice, let's remember, that the Bill of Rights guarantees us all the right to dissent, and there is no freedom of religion without freedom from religion. Yada yada. So let's remember the real reason for the season is the solstice, and keep state and church separate. And it's just on a little plaque. It's next to like a 40-foot Christmas tree, right? That's like, all right, we should be happy that we're getting that, right? So, um, the a buddy of ours that's in the movement that comes to the meetings in Milwaukee and wants to get involved at a deeper level works for the Democrats, so he's in Madison and he's in City Hall quite a bit. And somebody grumped about it. One of the county officials, I want to say, grumped about the atheists having a little tiny little plaque in the. This isn't the courthouse. I mean, it doesn't get any more government building than the courthouse, right? The Milwaukee County Courthouse has got a Christian display for Christmas, so everybody gets to do it because they wouldn't refuse the Jews that are in there working to put a menorah up, But when an atheist or a Satanist pops up, um, that's different. Dre, where are you at? Where are you at? You guys are sweet for hanging on here. I don't know if anybody. No, no, he works for the politicians. He's not really a politician. He's just, you know, he works for a state senator or state representative in Madison, and he's active in the Democratic Party. Um, I guess I knew you weren't in the states, but now I can't remember where you at. Dre, 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 Dre. Oh, you live in Amsterdam, you dirty bitch. That's where my parents failed me. This asshole. Well, that's just a bomb. Born in St. Louis like a rack of ribs, boy. Born in St. Louis. You ever been to St. Louis? Hey, what's up, dude? I got kicked off of TikTok. Is what's the fuck up? I don't know. I said something to piss off some snowflake Christian. And so I jumped over because I'm trying to get, build up some people who will jump on YouTube, and start building up this channel. But I don't really have much of a gimmick on here yet to try to, attract anybody. Lawrence is my guy, man, from Milwaukee. Check out Milwaukee Atheists, you guys, if you want to like Lawrence. And we can talk about some shit if you want, man. Lawrence like studies the Bible. Is one of these atheists that studies the Bible like a freak and really, really dives into it. And he's tight with Aaron Ra. He cuddles with Aaron, and he's really small. Lawrence is. So he's like a little spoon. He can't hug his Aaron's really big. But they share a perverse interest in New Testament theology and beyond, right? I mean, you guys dive into the Old Testament too, right? Do you? I don't personally watch unless I have insomnia, But no, Lawrence is great. He's like one of these overachievers. Yeah, I remember he looks like that, and then you like until you get on him, and he's like got leather and spikes, and you're like, he's a big fucker, man. Arn's a big burly guy. But he's a teddy bear. He's a sweetheart. Give him a dark beer, and his eyes get a little squinty, and you'd be all right. No chance of any violence there. But yeah, Lawrence is a guy who fucking like dives into that shit and really, really, really studies the original text and the script and the lost. Are you still here, man? Tell me what's up. Tell us. So if you guys are into that, he's been a creator for a long time. Kid's like, what are you getting to be 28 now? Losing his hair, poor guy. He wants to be a long haired hippie freak. He's gonna go the way of the underground, I'm afraid. Um, yeah, I don't think I really did anything other than just like scold the guy for being a jerk to me, maybe a little bit or whatever, just kind of kick him back a little bit. But yeah, you just woke up. Oh, okay. You guys go live later on. That's cool. I just woke up. And I just woke up. I met the guy's like 20 years old. He'd already written a book and had a podcast, and like he's got this, 3 languages coming out of his mouth. And since we haven't seen each other that much in recent years, he's like gone and learned ancient Greek and added on. So I don't know. He's a smart guy and he's young, so he hasn't burned out his brain cells like a lot of us old stoners have. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, dig it. What you go live? What time is it, man? Tell these folks they might be into it, man. There's it's not your channel, right? You guys have your own channel. What is it? Give us a shout, man. It's Aaron Ra and my guy Lawrence Ufa from Milwaukee Atheists, doing their thing, man. A lot of creationists. I call Aaron a creationist wrestler. He's maybe America's most famous creationist wrestler. So Dre, you learning Dutch over there? You got your glottal stops up to speed, man. Huh? Can you speak in the back of your tongue? Like, can you do all that? It is on your channel, Atheist Sunday School. Why not? What time? Sunday school's in the morning, you hippie. You got to get up. Because in the afternoon, it's Bible study. Sunday school it was before church or during church. It's in 2 hours from now. I. Yeah, I bet, man. I bet. No, he's on YouTube. He doesn't do TikTok. Ja, ik spreek een beetje de Netherlands. Netherlands. Is that how they say the language? Netherlands? I didn't know that was how they said the name of the language. I was listening to who's that crazy I just love his face, the gaunt South African cat. Um I just love his face. I'm absolutely infatuated with the way the guy looks. He's Netherlands. Netherlands. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about, Joy? Um, the dark, thin hair and the gaunt cheekbones and kind of the good-looking metrosexual vampire kind of look about him. What the hell's his name? He's always happy to see me. He always gets a kick up. But I started it's just to hear Afrikaners, just to hear Afrikaners, and because of all of it, just because of the Germany. Once you got a little bit of a background, you can suss a word or two out, and so I could. So I listen and I learn and I get a kick out of it for a minute. So yeah, if it wouldn't be long for me, it's goofy sounding. Dutch is goofy sounding. Those in between languages. I call them the in between languages. In between English, the most modern evolution, right, of the Teutonic languages, and and the mother tongue, German, High German, der Hochdeutsch. Auf den Hochdeutsch, bitte! I think he's identifies as a Satanist. Um, Love his face. What can I tell you? Yeah, yeah. It looks like Florence blasted off. We've bored him, and that's fine. I'm not gonna hang out and take up the rest of the day. I got so much to do. I've been recording poetry, and I got to take care of my life too. So um, Dre hates German. everybody, everybody hates German. Why? It sounds so angry. Only when you do it like that, you can make any language sound like that, right? You can make French can sound angry, right? We always tend to growl French. Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Qu'est-ce que tu fais là? Dites-moi maintenant. You tend to growl it. T'as quelque chose à nous dire? The native atheist, what's up, man? Thanks for jumping over. Were you on TikTok too, man? We'll hang out for a while and see if anybody finds us. Like I was telling the gang, I gotta get a no sale. Speaking, you come on, come on, come on. Go to a nice brow house and some well endowed St. Pauli girl comes at you. Come on now, a little bit of German. Want a little German in you? You want a little German in you? Just pull that one out, right? You got a little German in you? No, you want one? Hey, the cheesy pickup lines. I'm one of those guys. I have to claim complete German and Dutch ancestry, and of course, my height comes from my Hobbit paternal grandfather, who from the middle of England, who was literally like 5'1". Oh, I have uncles who are big, tall Germans. And Dutch people, we know Dutch people are like a fucking 1,000 feet tall, every one of them. I work with a bulb guy, the guy that imports the bulbs, of course, for tulips down the road. He's 6'10", 6'11". He bangs his head on the door. So big. Big and beautiful, man. I got no problem, except I need a stool to use a urinal in a public restroom in a place like Holland. I'm like, shit, man. Hey, man. Thankfully, well hung, my friends. I can fucking get it over the rim. But it was the same in Jamaica, man. Jamaican dudes are tall, man. They're all 6'4". You're 5'9". You give me the impression that you might be taller than that, but 5'9" is tall compared to me. So I can't say much. Yeah, 5'9" is like, what are you doing, buddy? What happened? They don't call it the low country because of the height of the people. That's for sure. Uh, yeah, I always tease. If I'd have been born in that time in that place, that my Saxon ancestry had somehow landed me in Viking times, I'd have been like the artist. I'm like running behind, taking the scene of the battle, ducking hatchets and shit, singing a song about Ragnar, ding, ding, making up poetry, begging people not to fucking use me. There's always that guy, right? You get a Viking movie. There's like the one guy who has to be the accountant. He's like a bald fat guy who can't fight. Like, but they need his ass. He's like, we're going to run out of fish, idiot. Well, that's the thing, man. And that's real, baby. You got a presence. People have seen me on stage when I was acting, and people that didn't see me in real life and go, "Damn, you're a midget." You look so much bigger on stage. And like, that's what stage is, man. Let's face it. But uh, what can you do? You got to work with what you got, right? Big D energy. You dirty, dirty pansexual thing, you. Let's get rid of that. What you guys been watching? I'm like out of shit to watch. The Peripheral was pretty cool. On like a light switch. They're easy to flick though. You get a light switch, you know. um, yeah, that's the wonderful thing, isn't it? Though about a penis, if we're not going to get kicked off for talking about that thing. Um, it can be a light switch 1 minute, and the next minute it can be a nice spacious sausage rang time, right? For you, a nice carrot, a nice eggplant. Pans. Oh, pans are the best. Well, yeah, pans are the best. Well, are we all but pans? People would just like get on board with the fact that everybody's. It's just like autism. Everybody's on the spectrum. I'm more on the spectrum both. I'm half autistic. On the bisexual spectrum somewhere. Somewhere. It's very, 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 very right leaning, shall we say, on the old. But I'm not that guy who denies. It's like, yes, sir. That's a pretty man. I mean, that's a pretty man there, boy. That's how we used to put it in the day. It was like, whatever happened to transvestites? You know what I mean? I feel like the transvestites are just like, what about us? We don't get a letter because T was absconded with. There was transvestites long before there was any of this other shit. I'll tell you what. There was gay dudes. There was dudes who like to dress up, and maybe they were gay, maybe they weren't. They like to dress up. You know, I like to dress up. There's an actor. I like to dress up, but drag doesn't bother me. My dad had to tell me in the country once. He's like, maybe you want to choose where and when. Because I was just, how do you at? I don't know, but you're asking the wrong guy. um, but transvestites. All of a sudden, it's like they don't fit anybody's idea, anymore. It's like, yeah, are you? Because there are people who wouldn't consider themselves transgender, but they're starting to dressing up. But they're like, they don't get talked about it anymore. I don't think. It's like people are bored with. Plus, specifically, if that's your only kink, it's like people are like, he likes to get in drag, so what? It doesn't really nobody needs to apply anything further to that anymore. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like the transvestites have just been like, I bet you do, you little sweetie pie, you little squirrel. Lawrence is like a little squirrel. He looks like Sandy Squirrel, kind of with long hair, cute little cheeks. So the girls just want to barely grow a beard. He's like a little fuzzy little thing. Yeah, we should do more. And the Jesus thing too, man. That was a pretty good idea, man. I might write some skits for you to play Jesus in. I got my own Jesus costume, so for certain ones I have to do. I'm old Jesus with a wig. You're just like Jesus, getting to be 30. You'll be Jesus killing age pretty soon. You'll be ripe for the killing, for the sacrifice. Hey, tell me this, man, if you're still here. Do you think? And this is something that I thought of, dude. Do you think that part of the creation of the Jesus myth was an attempt to replace the need for actual human sacrifice as like religion actually advanced and tried to be less barbaric, tried to make sort of steer the people towards less barbarism. So like, look, you don't need to sacrifice a real human because it's been done for you at the highest level possible. Is that just me thinking of something stupid, or is that like a thing? Would be part of like the whole assimilation culture, sort of dragging polytheistic pagan religions into the present, both for control and for just like let's not kill people. It's Lorence. Is Lawrence. He's Milwaukee atheist. He's our guy. He's not on TikTok, but he's my guy for a long time here in the local movement. We've worked together on at some level over the last 10 years or so, almost now. Shit, probably since 14 at least, 14 or 15 when he was just a kid we met. And he does this. He's had a podcast. He's done some uh, um, a lot of shit on YouTube, and he's got this YouTube channel, Milwaukee Atheists, where he's going live in a couple hours with Aaron Ra. He has a show with Aaron Ra where they dissect the Bible. And so if you're interested in New Testament theology, you'll get as good as Andy. We're used to people like Biddy Buddha and Deadpool, who are trained as well, and went to either went to seminary, Bible college, or were raised in it so deeply that they understand that shit. And there's people like Lawrence who um, just love it and study it on their own. And we've encountered others like Richard Carrier and Bart Ehrman and Robert Price, and Lawrence and I were chilling together for all of those cool adventures that we had with a group of mythicists who have since gone a different direction, which is cool. And Lawrence up there in Milwaukee, and I'm down here in Kenosha. But he okay, you do that. Rinse out that balloon. And yeah, we had a lot of fun. There was a couple of minutes we were just talking about that the other night because I go once a month and we chill at a hookah bar up there, and we were reminiscing on the old times. And there was a minute there where it was really cool. It was a cooperative effort of a cooperative workspace where we would all get together and work on some things together and some things on our own stuff, but just have that community of atheists, activists, kind of trying to change the landscape in the Milwaukee area, and it was really exciting. It was really exciting. Oh, we did some shit. We did some shit before the whole thing exploded like the Big Bang into a million different weird little things. And now, it's been my mission to try to drag it back together, to try to put the band back together, at least in terms of making ourselves a visible voting bloc with solidarity, with presence, with much like our friends in the LGBT community, LGBTQ community. I was reading Gunga Din. You guys love Gunga Din? I love Kipling, and of course it's a racist poem now, so that you don't hear it, But I learned it in school, I'm sure, at some point, and I just love his style with rhyme and meter. So I was reading Gunga Din, so I should be free of I was reading it in the accent, of course. It's written in a dialect. I had to do it like this. Because that's the way it was written, and there's really no way to read it properly unless you read it. Right? He's left the H's off his words and used slang from the day of a soldier's time in India, as they said. So I wouldn't think I'd be fumbling over my syllables at this point, but who knows, man? It's I'm not getting any younger. Not getting any younger, you fuckers. What the hell else is on? As an Arab atheist, I am ashamed of how stupid and barbaric are my people. God. And I should even read that until I get kicked off YouTube because it's so. But this is just a blog post on Reddit atheism. Oh wait, isn't it the same though? This guy's calling out Arab culture for being shit, but there was a time when Arab culture was the height of civilization, the golden age of Baghdad. And here's what the whistle is here, buddy. Sorry, got out of the rhythm of doing what we do, because it's just so shocking to get kicked off like that. It's like it takes the wind out of my sails. I was having a good time the last few, getting some videos out a little faster, trying to get to 100,000. It sounds like a selfish goal, but now it's like I'm that close. I just want to get past it. And of course, it's still going to take a while because it's like really, it's 10% of what I already have, so it doesn't go that fast. Okay, that's cool. Just dawned on me that would be the reasoning of the early writers when they were establishing the mythology, really the liturgy of the early church, or the whatever the doctrine was going to be. And the writers are like, yes, well, I mean, and I guess it still is, but I guess what you're saying is it wouldn't have been the first or any seminal attempt to do so. But yeah, I mean, don't you think that's certainly to me that's what it is? It's like here's the idea that gods need sacrificed to, and that they've always historically been pleased or unpleased, displeased with said sacrifice or lack of sacrifice. That any new myth of salvation might include a sacrifice. In this case, the ultimate sacrifice, a perfectly clean sacrifice um, that God magically creates for Himself and then sacrifices to and for Himself. I don't know. I don't know how anybody gets their fucking head around that shit and makes it. It was just so laughable. Sooner or later, a couple people have come at me on the videos lately. They said, Why don't you believe? I'd love to talk to you more about the Bible." Like I'd never fucking been there, you know. I'd love to talk to you more. To really just don't think you understand. Don't understand the abusive relationship you have with a being that tells you you're bad and then offers up the cure. Well, that's true. He does still require sacrifices. Uh, yeah, and what did he sacrifice? Right, a weekend in hell. Is that what they say? And then he's back in heaven. So really, did he pay the price? Wouldn't he be burning still if he paid the price? Um, it's much slower on you, but we're not censored. Isn't that weird? It's just so odd to me that they feel like they got to do that. And the comments being filtered. That's very very strange. So I'm gonna continue to do this, and it'll grow if I do and put energy into it, obviously. Um, and so I guess for now we'll do it right after TikTok each time on Sunday until I can um, have enough people to switch to another time so that they'll follow. An Airbnb weekend getaway in hell. Yeah, so reading Gunga Din in the last stanza. The last stanza imagines Gunga Din in hell, right? Do you guys remember the poem? He carried me away to where a dooley lay, and a bullet come and drilled the beggar clean. He put me safe inside, and just before he died, "I hope you like your drink," says Gunga Din. So I'll meet him later on at the place where he is gone, where it's always double drill and no canteen. He'll be squatting on the coals, giving drink to poor damned souls, and I'll get a swing in hell from Gunga Din. So hell, if you go to an Airbnb weekend in hell, you might have Gunga Din serving you stinky water. What a great fucking poem. I mean, it really is full of racist talk, but it's not a racist poem. It's about a guy who ends up learning a lesson because of the racist way that he treated a guy. And, in the end, of course, infamously, um, though I've belted you and flayed you by the living God that made you, you're a better man than I am, Gunga Din. You're a better man than I am, Gunga Din. So he learns his lesson, but you can't hear that poem probably anymore because the term Gunga Din is racist. I learned from the research on the poem. I know. I like everybody assumed it was the guy's name, and it basically means black water boy or whatever it means. It's not chill. So yeah, but I think there's no words in here that anybody would even know to recognize as racist, other than the line, of course, about how he was, despite his dark skin, he was actually white inside because he was such a good person. But those are um, those reflect the character of the person in the poem, not the poet trying to express a racist idea. The poem is a beautiful arc of five stanza arc of you know basically someone who treated someone like an asshole and learns a valuable lesson in the end about it. So um, sounds like looks like everybody quit except you guys. My stalwarts. Aren't you guys fabulous? What else is on the friggin' Reddit? I didn't really get a chance to dive too deep into it. I was. Oh, a Florida teacher got fired After a viral video shows her interrupting Muslim students while in prayer. I believe in Jesus, so I'm interrupting the floor. Nice, nice, good for them, as they should have. She says in a video, "I believe in Jesus, so I'm interrupting the floor," whatever that means. That's hilarious. Pembroke Pines. You know, here in America, if you're living in a place called Pembroke Pines. Well, tell me about the St. Louis experience, man. Did you escape there on your own, or did you go to did you did your peoples get you out? Were you raised religious, Dre? And I got to figure out how to do other stuff on this. How do you have like? I think I can have guests on here, but you don't have access to this feature. Why the fuck not? What? Why don't I? And what can I do? Strange. A Broward County teacher was fired after a video of her interrupting Muslim students when in prayer went viral. The teacher who has not yet been identified worked at Franklin Academy, a charter school in Pembroke. But don't you go on about the way we talk, Robert. Shortly after, you can hear the teacher saying, "Hold on, this is my office, and y'all doing this magic." See, their religion's magic, right? But hers isn't. A woman identified as another teacher barges in and starts blowing a whistle. The teacher is then heard saying, "I believe in Jesus, so I'm interrupting the floor," not knowing that, of course, they believe in Jesus too. The same teacher appeared to step or kick the boys' hands as she walked over their mats. See, now I can get on board with the magic comment, but not because she's an atheist and she doesn't think that there should be prayer going on in school, which, of course, it's their personal choice. They can pray in school, right? But, it's not because she thinks that religion is magic. It's because she thinks their religion is magic. Magic. Oh, that's right. I didn't. I think when you went on like that, I was before I actually like had looked at you and your face and stuff. I don't know. I am getting old. I apologize. Um, that's a form of extremism, and I don't believe in extremism of any kind. He said. Oh, this is where I skipped down. Yeah, yeah. Well, good for them. Muslim leaders complain as they should. Now let's see it happen with a nice Satanist or uh, a pagan, or a Wiccan or somebody doing that shit. Yeah, and that's why we got to hit them with science. Darwin Day's coming up soon. And we're trying to like organize a fundraiser, and it's only 2 months away, so it's probably not really time to do it. So maybe better plan it for next year. But to raise science money for science departments in public schools for Darwin Day, and make that association there, and don't make it about atheism. Don't make it about ridiculing the religious club or somehow presenting some kind of alternative religion. Just make it about science and reason and learning and let people come to it um, because of that. Yeah, it really is, Trey. Um, and that was so strange when I was a kid. I don't know how old you are, but when I was a kid, like science was so cool, man. And none of our none of the religious upbringing that I had, um, ever denied science. It existed completely, coexisted completely. We're just like, okay, I guess God did that. I guess God did that, and we discovered this. I guess God did that. Um, no, you're 45 makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Uh, and nowadays, it's just like you say. It's like nobody, you know, nobody gives a shit about science anymore. It's all that polarization, like you said. If you agree with science, you must be one of those people who denies, what I believe. Whereas there's really no reason that at least in those kind of terms, the two can't completely coexist. Yeah, we didn't really have flat Earth. I'm sure we did, but they were just super crackpots off, like a hermit somewhere off in the woods, who wasn't doing any harm because he didn't have a platform like this, right, where we're spewing our ideas. Well, shit. I just guess I'll crank out a lot of videos this week. I seem to be doing pretty well lately, which is encouraging. But I don't get any followers. I don't really do videos and I don't get any followers like I did when I was new on there. I don't know. Because even the latest videos have been getting some pretty decent traction, but they don't generate a lot of new followers. Uh, but I don't know. I just keep on trying to crank them out, I guess, and that's about what you can do, right? Let's see what else is about the Catholic collective narcissism linked to acceptance of myths about sexual child abuse. This is like only giving me, only showing one viewer, but both of you are on right now, apparently. So I don't know what's up with that. You done rinsing out the blue, baby? Yeah, man. And if you tag me on those, I'll interact with them, dude. I don't stuff doesn't come up on my, and I don't spend a lot of time scrolling. So if you tell me, well, you assholes could get together. How far is that? Amsterdam from our house? That's what I call it in my head. I just call it our house. Our house in the middle of Denmark. Our house. That is where I'd like to park. Our house. Rapture Pet Care. See, I have a feeling that those assholes would rather kill themselves or kill their pets than let an atheist who got left behind in the rapture take care of that pet, right? They wouldn't care that much about their pet if they let a heathen scumbag, weird ass pansexual freakazoid like you take care of that pet when you weren't even good enough to get sucked up into the clouds. But I like that's clever. I like that, man. Rapture Pet Care. They have to like your pet has to uh, stay behind because there's no heaven for they don't have a soul, right? Christians love their pets, love them a lot, but not enough to attribute a soul to them. So 750 kilometers is nothing. That's nothing. What's that, like 500 miles? I put on 500 miles like every 2 days. I'm just driving around here. Yeah, make that video. That's what you mean? That's a video idea? Like a spoof for a business? I thought you meant it was an actual business idea because you could like put that on the internet and some people probably would sign up for it. Oh, I just know it's gonna happen in my lifetime. Okay, do you have insurance for who's gonna take care of your pet? Or are you just like fuck it? Pet's just gonna eat your body. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. I'm starting to use InShot for almost all my videos so I can save them in a different way and start putting them on YouTube. I put a couple on YouTube. I'm putting them on Patreon maybe if I get my shit together enough. But that's a cool little app. It's called InShot for making videos. It's got a lot of little easy editing features to be able to do. You can record your voice over parts of it, which you can't do on the talk, which is really bad. That's really that would be an easy feature for them to add to TikTok, is to be able to add like a microphone to voice over what you already recorded. You can add voiceovers if it's some fucking shitty piece of music. I want to see that. That's funny. I got video ideas out the ass. Of course, they're not easily producible. I need actors for some of these things, and I don't really have that. I don't have a group of people around me who are willing to do that and act. I could, if I lived closer to Lawrence, he'd help. Um, no, you know what? I don't want to repeat. I feel like everybody who's on TikTok's on Instagram, and I feel stupid about just posting that same shit on Instagram. So I'm trying to get an idea of how I could do different reels on Instagram. Can you? I don't know how to record a voiceover on. I couldn't find it. I can't find it anywhere. If it says add sound, it doesn't look like it leads me to that. So you can love for you to tell me how to do that. But I'm real happy making them on InShot because it's still, you can do a lot more. Like you can't edit a clip on TikTok and then add another clip on top of that. It takes you back, right? Is it discard edits, and then I can't edit the end of a clip. It just takes you through the continuation of the editing process. It doesn't let you do that. So yeah, but it's for Instagram. I'd like to get into a different routine of making reels for Instagram that are about different stuff. And I think, like my church signs on the outside, where just stop on the street and make a commentary. That's the closest thing I have to an actual idea for that right now. I'm up to some decent numbers on Instagram without following it, but not like lots, not like TikTok. Um, but I don't spend any time on it. I spend more time now because of that. But people find me. I probably have 500, 600, 700 on Instagram now. But yeah, it's not like TikTok where it's like, well, wow, this blew up. Um, but again, you need to use that stuff. I know all those other guys. Um, I blame Bill and folks use Instagram. Eve is framed. Those guys use Instagram a lot more than I do. And I think it's more convenient in a lot of ways, and people are moving away from doing a whole ton of shit on TikTok when they don't appreciate it. That's what it seems like to me. Um, so I've only made a couple of reels on Instagram, and I've done a couple of crossover posts. But for right now, I just try to all I can do to remember to post something once in a while to make sure it stays sort of active. And it's like, boy, when do you find the time for this crap? I really wish I could transition to something where I really could just every day create all the time. But then it's like, wow, my other job doesn't get done, and I can't. And then people get mad as I'm not really putting the attention on that I should, because that's still where the money comes from. But I'm, in some ways I'm so burned out on that crap. Yeah, Jagazis was saying, and they pay you because they want people to get them on there. Um, but I'm not sure how much. I mean, he was really saying that it's a lot more and a lot easier to get them to get on there. I love Jagazis. Um, I wish I was closer to him. I would. He's got a smart mind for this kind of shit. He's done a lot better than I have. He's awful cute. He's little. He's pretty little. Little compared to me. He's a smart cat. Oh, I can. I know. Jesus and I talk. He would do that. Right? You don't need to. Thank you though. He he would do that. I just know. I just haven't had the energy to try to get back on that. And I probably should. I was thinking about it today. There's some people going live with. It would be fun to have like four of us go live. Me and him. And I blame Bill and Jeff or somebody, or that might be cool. But yeah, like I said, I've been reading poetry and I'm trying to get. I need to find a way to earn more. So there's a lot of shit on my plate besides ramping up TikTok live efforts right now. But yeah, no, Jagazis reaches out if he talks to me sometimes, so it's not like I couldn't just ask him when I do it. No, she's awesome. She tries to help me with that administrative shit. Um, and has in the past. Nothing better. You're lucky I'm not in Amsterdam. Those 490 miles would be gone. You'd have to beat my ass to get a shot at the cat lady. So just be happy I'm here. Grab you by those big fake eyelashes and whip you out of my way. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm just as I get healthier now again, it's like yeah. You start getting those randy thoughts. I'm not around. I don't even know how to classify my companion for the last few years, who I haven't seen more than twice in a year, and who don't do boyfriend girlfriend things anymore, which was fine for a while I was going through treatment. But sharing is caring, baby. Now, no, stop. Now you're now you're gonna make you're gonna time school. I gotta go. Yeah, baby. Yeah. C'est le mot en français pour cette chose. Would, coulda, shoulda. Yeah, a few more years and maybe I can travel more. If I'll make it that far, absolutely get on a tramp steamer. Chug, 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 working on deck. Oh, scrubbing floors for my passage aboard some merchant marine vessel. Wouldn't that be romantic? I think that just sounds like the shit. If for sure if I ended up not having a family, I would have done that when I was younger for sure. What a great way to see the world, right? It is on the cafe, my cafe press. I don't. Thanks, Lawrence. I don't even look at that thing because it's got no traction at all. And I think it's one of the other things, many millions of things. Because I got ideas, you know me, man. I got funny ideas for T-shirts, and I got to get better at just making Photoshop files and getting them printed. But for right now, it's Atheist Underground gear at cafepress.com, and you can get this one for sure. I have two of them, and they're still in pretty good shape. I don't. The original file is gone. It's the one I had is slightly different, but online. But yeah, you can get it there. And I should reach out to the guy that actually made these. It's a while ago. Let's see if he's got that file now. I suck at that. I need someone to help me with working a good merchandise store and manipulating the files quicker than I need to. I could do it. It would take me probably a weekend on Photoshop at this point because I just haven't been on that program in so long. And it's such a big fucking program. Yeah, if he's on, he's not, he's not really on TikTok. This guy. I mean, can you imagine that? Here I am, a gray bush, and I get TikTok, and this kid doesn't. He's not there. But hey, YouTube's where it's at. So, and he's put his energy into the YouTube channel for a long time. So subscribe, you guys, to Milwaukee Atheists, and check him out in a little while with Arn Ra. Yeah, do you guys play? Are you guys playing each other on that on your goofy app? I'm still playing Grabby Word. It excites me. It's such a different game. Um, but yeah, if you want to play, uh, what is it called? The one we do? No, Words with Friends. What's it called? Word Challenge. Word idiocy. I forget. um, yeah, this is the reals. This is actually somebody came into town and threw it at me. So I was like, ooh, it's better than that Delta 10 I've been. Word feud. Word fluid. You wrote word fluid. Word fluid. What word fluid? It sounds like it sounds like a Scandinavian name. It sounds like a Swedish name. This is Wordford. Wordford. Yeah, yeah. You guys play on word feud. The feud of words. Joey just beat me. They don't keep a record. See, that's the thing on Grabby Word that keeps a record of who's kicking your fucking ass for you. If you click on your opponent's name, it'll show you. That's what I mean. Is like this is my son, Wordford. Wordford, say hello to the people. Wordford, Wordford. That's classic. Are you a little We shouldn't make fun of dyslexics. Well, we're not making fun of people anymore. We can't call people. We can't call a gypsy anymore. I'm just teasing you, baby. What have we gotten to? What have we gotten to, Lawrence? You're too young to know. Word was beautiful. You can say anything you wanted with a smile, as long as you were smiling. Oh, just spelling. You're not dyslexic. Okay. My favorite bumper sticker ever says "Dyslexics untie" with an exclamation point. Get it? Think about it for a second. Dyslexics untie instead of unite. You know, campaign slogan. I almost drove off the road when I saw that. That's funny. That's funny shit, right? But yeah, they probably throw you in jail for that these days. Um, Funny how that didn't get diagnosed in the U.S. for so long. Those poor kids, perfectly smart kids. And I had a boss once that was dyslexic, and I'd never run into it in real life. Other than I think my sister had a touch of it. It wasn't really, she ended up having like a little bit of a tutor, and she got through it pretty fast. And other learning disability other than strict dyslexism. But this boss of mine like put a Pepsi can in front of him and tried to copy it on the label for the Pepsi machine. You had to handwrite the label for the soda machine. And he copied it. He was looking right at it and he copied Pepis. He wrote Pepis when he was looking at the word Pepsi. And I was like, wow, you dyslexic, Don? And he didn't know. He got kind of, I felt bad because I kind of embarrassed him, He's a little older than me. And he's just like, I don't know. And he was a perfectly smart guy. Then it just opened my eyes to, wow, this is what this does to people. And he can't help it. And it doesn't say anything about who he is other than like nobody diagnosed and got him help. So the poor bastard can't spell anything. He may as well just quit. Our show with Aaron is on his channel on Saturdays. Aaron's not on my show this week. Okay, sorry. Gotcha. So it's on Aaron's the ramen channel. Well, that makes sense, right? He had some traction, I reckon. Um, what are you guys doing? Going through the New Testament from beginning to end, or what? Or what's up? What's of note in Second Corinthians? Get some shit in there. What did he have to say? did Paul have to say to those Corinthians that took a second letter? Couldn't get it out in one. It is. Oh, and by the way, oh boy just studies the Bible like a little nut, like a little crazy chimp. 66-year-old pastor arrested on child sexual abuse charges involving minor under 15. Ooh, boy. North Carolina, no way. This is in Wyoming. How does Wyoming News Now have a story out of North Carolina? I guess it's national news and they picked it up. 12.4 million bond. Hey, creepo. Lovelace. It's always a pastor named Lovelace, isn't it? That's creepy. You're reading the Bible beginning to end, so you know that's a series. What have you learned? What have you learned, son, that you didn't know? And what's the best book of the Bible? Proverbs or Song of Solomon? Let's see what does it for you. I go to Proverbs once in a while for some ancient wisdom. I'll be honest. You know, because some of that stuff is like, yeah, man, they knew it then. You know, some of that stuff is pretty fucking. It's pretty obvious life hacks in there in Proverbs. Uh, 6 years reading the Bible beginning to end. Is it rough getting through the lists? Is that the hardest part? The begats and Hebag Bagat Gabagabagabab. Ecclesiastes. All right, you like Revelation? Yeah, that's hard to beat there. That's some. What do you mean apocalyptic literature? No, that's the truth. That's coming. Revelation. I don't know what you're talking about with the pop. Oh, you know, we know that that's the truth, man. Probably before this generation is out. What do you make of the whole of Revelation? Is it a a metaphor for Rome and that we hear all the time now? You know me, I peripherally pay attention to that shit, but if it comes up on my channel, people are like Revelation was a coded message about Nero and Rome. Is that true, man? Because I listen. If you say it, I'll believe it. Because I've never seen anybody put the attention that you have into it, other than people like Carrier and Yuck Yuck. Is that what you think? Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's good to know. Well, yeah, you should get your shit together and get on TikTok so I can have you on live there. Because that would be fun one time too, is to actually dive into that stuff. A lot of people do that. I've stayed away from that because I don't know that much about it compared to people who do study it. Just enough to be snarky, you know. So I chose the snark angle because it makes me laugh. Oh, that's right, dude. This was you were a preterism. I was a preterism. Is that a word, dude? I want to learn a word. Preterism, or is that more your spelling? I'm looking it up. It's gonna be like there's no such word. So a lot of eschatological view interprets some or all prophecies of the Bible's events which have already. Hang on. This is Wikipedia. Preterists. Okay. That's cool. I just read. I just learned what a preterist was. Yeah, but you can only be who you are. You know what I mean, baby? It's I'm the scorpion. I'm afraid. You know, you're like, don't make fun of me if I help you out, and then I'm like, here I am making fun of somebody. So you know, you can't, especially at my age. You can't really change your spots too much. So, um, I try to be who I am, right, and temper that with actual caring. Um, a preterist is that, but that means he still believes, right, Lawrence? So he like he watches your show because he's interested in the theology or the history of it, and I'm sure you have a lot of viewers who aren't necessarily atheists, right? Yeah, I suppose the churches I grew up in would have largely been categorized like that. I expect they'd be partial preterists because they were still waiting for Jesus to come back, right? I guess, but that's when the Christianity I grew up on wasn't. It wasn't about anything I see today from evangelical, mainstream evangelicals, which became the mainstream Christianity in America. I never thought it was when I was growing up. That wasn't the mainstream Christianity. It was just Protestantism, liberal, good old, accept science. God did it. Yeah, Bible was divinely inspired. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, he had a good message. Go home and do your thing. Pretty sure there was a couple of atheists in every church I was ever in. Growing up, looking back on it, I'm pretty sure. So, all right, it's noon, you guys. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and blast off. Sorry about getting kicked off of the talk. Yeah, it's funny. I've been having a lot of Christians watch my videos lately and just they go off on the. They don't listen. They don't actually listen to the video. The one about Asia. It's like, yes, obviously we know there's plenty of Asians in the Bible. That wasn't what that guy was asking. It just makes me crazy. They're like, oh, actually. All right. Well, all right. I'm scoring. I gotta pee, you guys. I love you. Thank you, Dan. I'll see you later. See you soon, Lolo. I'm gonna blast off. Thank you for jumping across. Um, yeah, no, and stay in touch, man. I appreciate you guys. So we'll talk soon. All right. Bye.